Hey there, Portal here with a fun little tidbit between sessions, a little mini session for one of our newest players. Her name is T. She's great. We spent a little bit of time workshopping her character, and we did a small little hour and a half segment where she role played her waking up and a couple of her basic backstory stuff. A lot of the stuff is very vague on point, uh, since, well, we know as players, but in character it is very confusing. I hope you enjoyed the little venture, and we'll be back with regular stuff on Sunday. Thing for your introduction when Pia starts. Um, it's a it's probably an indeterminate amount of time for her. She doesn't quite remember when or why. But you open up kind of on a rainy night where you find yourself standing outside a kind of grassy field. Um, and as far as memories go, everything's very hazy, blurry, and it's really this is more a moment of everything's fading away to nothing as you have found yourself before any of this, before any of it really began, bleeding out in a field outside of Shellmeyer. It started with an investigation into your parents' disappearance, and it was followed up with um, counteractions from local church members and clergy. Um, it was really disheartening, right? It's this what you had presumed to be a quiet sort of easy investigation that people might want to know that people are disappearing, and it ends with the bleeding out in the middle of nowhere, alone in the cold and the dark. Let me just pull up your character, da, fun theater mode trick, and in those moments, as the last bits of your life fades away in the dark, um, you see a figure in the rain, in the storm, turn and kind of like walk off the beaten path, slide down towards you. And it's a man dressed in long, beautiful robes, colorful. Atop his neck is a golden collar, and he's wearing all sorts of ornaments. And you're not really in a state to speak here in this moment, as your lungs are they feel like they're collapsing and like blood is spewing. And for only a moment do they hover over you, and you can't quite remember what they're saying, what they said that night. Uh, but it's the only memory you had before the real horrors started. After that evening, you don't remember when it was that you next woke up. All that you remember is waking, um, finding yourself in pain, agony. Um, your senses discombobulated. Everything is kind of a hazy fog, a mess of things and nothings, and like pain, anger, regret, uh, pain, a lot of pain, physical, mental. It all just kind of blurs together for what feels like forever, to the point where anything before that is gone. All you really hold on to is your name, the gold, Thia Goldpetal, Gold Petal. That's the kind of thing that you cling on to, the only thing that you have left. And then it stops one day, and you don't remember when it stopped or why it stopped, just that everything stopped. And the next time you awaken, really wake up, you find yourself floating in what feels like nothing, in smooth water, cold air, and you're floating in a pond. What do you think Thea's first reaction to this is after that kind of heavy
Hmm.
intro? You find yourself floating there.
I I'd say she would be quite confused and probably what's the word? Try and like sit up and like get off of her back. She's confused.
Right? Yeah. You try to push yourself up, and you find that there's no ground below you, only this murky cyan blue water. And you look up, and it's only blue water, and light doesn't really seem to pierce. It feels like you're kind of in a cocoon almost, where it's like you are wrapped in this very viscous liquid, pushing around and moving. You can hear rustling and noises, whispers and quiet, dissonant voices outside, but where you are now, nothing. You can. All you have is the blue around you and the very faint memory of your name. What does she do?
She's going to try and see if she can feel an edge on any side of her in this blue mess.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to visualize, but yeah, you can
Yeah,
roll me an athletics check.
sure.
Okay. With a 13, you wrestle when you swim around, but it doesn't give way, not yet. Um, but you can feel it. Stones, something, a way out, perhaps, a way up,
Hmm.
an escape. Um, and you wrestle around for a couple of moments only, what feels like just 2 or 3 heartbeats, and then there's a sound that echoes out. And I'll move you over to your map, and what you see over here, once you zoom in just a little bit,
Hmm.
you are still covered in this kind of viscous liquid as you rise up, uh, floating, being pushed upwards on what feels like a faint, ghastly uh, liquid. You don't know what it is below you, but you can feel kind of grasps at the end of your mind. Um, it feels wrong, unnatural, and it's weird. It's strange. It's familiar, but it's also dissonant. Um, and directly at the south of the pool, a man steps up. He looks very tired, like he's been through quite a lot recently. He's dressed in what looks like a bloodied knight's uniform of some kind. You don't quite remember where you've seen them before. Um, he's got a large greatsword that he's leaning on, and it's soaked with blood. And you see him kneeling at the edge of the pool as you rise up. It's like, shit. Didn't think there'd be anybody in there. You all right, lass?
I didn't think I'd see anyone else around here. Um,
Need a
I'm
hand?
alive. Yes, please.
Yep. He moves, reaches out to help you
And
get
she'll
up.
throw her hand up.
You can
Hmm.
move your token, by the way, by left clicking or using WASD once you have it selected.
Cool.
Once you have it selected, just click start. Yep. But
Sweet.
you are still kind of covered in that misky or viscous, icky cyan,
Hmm.
and you find yourself dressed in just a long white robe that is soaked in a lot of this blue. Um, it's really awkward and unusual, but it could be worse. You could be dead.
Yeah, that's true.
He kind of looks around. He's like, "So, what do you remember, if anything at all?" And he helps you back a little out of the pool. Around you, you find what looks like ruins and a larger, deeper pool of this sort of liquid that stretches
Hmm.
deeper and further beyond the archway. More of these pools you can see in the distance. Um, you look up, and there is just ceiling. It looks like some sort of cave. You have the light because you have your dark vision.
Yeah.
The human man again looks around, is like, so, do you remember anything at all?
Just the name Goldpetal. Thea and Goldpetal.
Well, these circumstances are less than ideal, Thea. The name's Doran Ashglade, and he extends kind of a bloodied gauntlet.
Hmm.
A lot of people are in quite a few messes this evening. A lot of problems popping up, and we're not quite out of the thick of it yet. You,
Okay.
you all in there? You good?
I'm good.
Do you know any self-defense? Think you can handle yourself?
I can give it a try.
Well, be careful, because let's just say not everybody here is so friendly, and you hear a thunk, thunk, thunk of metal. And Doran kind of turns down. He's like, shit! And you hear a kind of cold voice say, there he is! Get him! And let me just reveal them for you. You can't quite see them as they are at the edge of your vision. Right? I believe your token's vision is set up properly. It might be set up wrong. Vision. It is set up wrong.
Is
There
it?
you go. You can see just a little bit further as you make out
Okay.
approaching figures in armor.
Mhm.
And Doran steps forward. Is like, well, we're gonna be in quite of a scrap now, so well, I hope you got time to get it all together. And let's me change our creepy music to more quiet background, and I get our fun music on, and I'm gonna have you roll initiative.
Excellent.
Make sure that you're on the initiative order. You are not. You have been added. So to roll initiative, you see the little swords icon? Oop. Oh, you use the set?
I just did it a different
Yeah.
way.
Yep. That works too.
Cool. But ordinarily it's the swords as well.
You can find them in that little channel. Let me just make sure these boys are all revealed in the order.
Mhm.
You should see them. And let me get combat
Mhm.
music playing. 1 second. There it is. This one? It is. All right. Go. And begin. So, ooh, that's a little bit loud. That a little bit. So, first is this boy back here. He's going to step up, rushing forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He moves his full movement as he dashes forward, weapon drawn. He looks hostile towards you, Thea, as well as Doran. So that's fun. And that's his turn. Next, you're up.
Goodness.
Goodness. Early fight.
I am going to move up closer.
Oop.
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
Where did you move? Oh, did you delete your token?
No, I moved it way too far away because I'm house.
Yeah, that's fine. Just drag it back in. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Off map.
I'm just gonna move closer to Doran anyways and move up beside him.
Cool.
I think what might go here. Yeah.
Cool.
And that'll be all I do for now, I think.
Preparing any actions, holding anything, or are you just taking a defensive stance?
Just a defensive stance.
Alright, dodge action. Juliana.
Mhm.
This guy is going to call out to his compatriots, and he's going to say, everybody ready? Square up! And he's going to give his feature to every male in range. They all get blessed. Him, he's going to finish his movement. 2. And you hear Doran call out, hey lass, this is going to get a bit tricky. And he's going to give you, as a legendary action, you can move up to 30 feet of movement in any direction as a reaction. If you would like.
That sounds pretty cool to me.
Yep, so just move your... It's not 30, it's your movement, any direction you would like.
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to move.
Might come around here.
Cool. Perfect. Split up.
Does that work?
Yep, that's fine. And then the other Huckling is going to step forward, draw his longbow, and he's going to take a shot at Doran first. And he's going to miss. So this knight, boom, shield and sword away, draws this heavy-looking bow, strings the arrow, fires it towards Doran, who kind of just leans to the side, and the arrow flies by. And the man looks unimpressed. Next initiative is another boy. I'm gonna step 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Step up, rush towards Doran, who now has the initiative. And you see him lean back with his massive greatsword and swing forward towards the man who approached him, the knight. And he hits. He hits both attacks. And you see him swing the sword down. One swing takes kind of half of this dude's arm off, and the other, as he pushes the blade through, downing him. He's dead. Poor boy, got wrecked. And then he steps up towards the next one, kind of looking at him and pointing his sword out. I was like, "Is that the best you got? I thought I trained you better than that." And this dude's turn. Oop, did not mean to move Doran. Second. You sure that he's gonna step out from behind this pillar, draw his bow, and then string, take a shot, and miss as well. Again, Doran kind of tilts his neck, and as his legendary action, he's going to take a melee attack on an opponent next to him. He rolled a critical failure, so he's leaning on his sword, swings, and it kind of just gets parried by the blade of the knight in front of him, and he ends up getting locked in that. This one's gonna take a swing at him. Yeah, take a swing at him. Attack. Can you hit? He crit. At 8 damage. Yikes! That hurts. That hurts just a bit. Boom! You see him swing towards Doran, who tries to catch it with his blade, but it's just a little bit too slow and kind of cuts straight into his shoulder, only a little bit through the armor, and the larger man pushes him back a bit. Yep, you're up.
Interesting. To get back over, say, like here.
You can use the ruler tool if you're curious about how far it is.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
And I've definitely got the movement for that.
And if you move over here, you get advantage because you will be flanking.
Ooh. I might do that. So that was there, right?
Yeah, just about.
Okay. If I can... No, I just want to move my character.
Oh, you still have the ruler tool selected.
Yep. There we go.
This is what we do.
There we go.
Early little session.
Yes. So about here?
Yeah, about there. Boom. And now you can, to make an attack roll, you go to your inventory and you click on these hands. You click the little dice icon on it. You can I can also make macros, which I really should get around to doing for everybody to use. Yeah, you just click it.
Yep.
It should prompt you to roll, and then we'll roll it.
It's a 21.
Yeah, that hits. Nice. Super good roll. And then you gotta click it again and make sure it's damaged this time.
Yep.
Yep. 4 damage. Solid. A thunk to the back of its head. Someone else. So, boom. You kind of step behind him, striking with a heavy blow. Your fists, they're heavier than you remember. You don't quite remember being this good at violence. And Doran says, "Keep it up, girly!" And as a reaction, you can take a free attack. Again, still at advantage. Using his legendary action. Yep. So roll again.
I would like to do that.
Yeah, kick his ass.
Open. There we go. Throw these hands at him again. $13 to hit?
Nope, does not hit. So you swing, but he ducks back forward to avoid the impact of your weapon. And he's gonna step forward. Seeing Doran as a bigger threat than you, he's going to turn and try to strike the man from behind. He does have advantage. Boom, boom. He's going to make 2 attacks on Doran. The first one missed. Second one hits. Oh, he didn't roll advantage for the first one. 1 second. Missed. Damage normal. 9 damage to Doran. So, boom. Moves his blade. Using his ally as leverage, he kind of sweeps down, striking at him from behind. Dude, that's been applied. Apply damage. And it's the archer boy. He's going to take a pot shot at you.
Oh, no.
Oh no. He rolled an 8, so he draws another arrow, strings it, fires it towards you, and it just whizzes by, just barely. And Doran's turn, so he gets to heal 10 HP on each of his turns. So he's up to that total. And then, seeing that you've got the foe on his left handle, he's going to turn around and strike twice. The knight on the right. And he hits both attacks for 23 damage. Let's go. And you see that this large man is just tearing into this kind of, from what you can tell, sort of pseudo commander with ease and like expertise. Just boom, ching, ching, cutting him not to ribbons yet, but cutting deeply into him. And he looks at you, he's like, "Keep up the good work, kid." And this hobgoblin is going to try to hit you, Thea.
Okay.
You rolled an 8. Okay, so he's gonna step forward, try to get closer to get a better shot. So again, draw. Depth perception here is really hard for them. And this one is going to. He's going to swing at Doran because his friends got you, Shirley. Shirley. He's got advantage on this one. He misses, so he swings down towards Doran, but this time his blade is caught early, slammed back towards you, and Thea, again, Doran calls out, "Take a shot now!" and gives you a free reaction attack. If you would like to take it.
Amazing. I would like to take that. Let's throw these hands again.
Yep.
If I can. Not at advantage, just a normal roll?
No, at advantage. Yep. He's
At advantage? Cool.
Yeah, that hits.
21, okay. Damage.
Yeah, that's...
8?
Yep, you get him. So how does Thea
Excellent.
describe to me this kill that she got?
Okay, so she's gonna grab him from behind. One hand on his throat and one hand like around the front of his chest, and she's just gonna pull him down and then break his neck.
Yeah, just one swift motion. And again, this strength and this practice and this ease is not something you quite remember growing up with. You don't remember when you learned this, and you don't really feel anything after killing him. It's just like, this is something you've done before. You start to realize. When and where, who knows. And then it's your turn properly.
Excellent. Just say it some. Am I able to run behind Doran and try and help him with the other one that's right to the right of him?
Absolutely.
Cool. So I'm just gonna run around and do that. I'm not sure if it leaves me with.
You have enough movement to get behind him, yeah. For the advantage. For it to fling him.
Yep.
You could always also use it. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, roll these hands at advantage.
Cool.
That misses.
Oh no,
Unfortunate.
definitely not.
Close, but no cigar. So take a swing.
Mhm.
Ducks out of the way, just barely.
Mhm.
This guy realizing that you might be dangerous because, well, you are helping Doran out here. He's gonna take a swing at you twice.
Okay.
With the sword, attack, normal, 18 hits, 13 does not
Yep.
hit. So you take 7 points of damage, of slashing damage.
Mhm.
Let me apply that to you real quick. Boom, as he kind of like carves into your side slightly, just boom, a heavy strike, but it doesn't really hurt when it
Mhm.
impacts you. It feels very light, which is strange, but secondary. And then the archer boy is done archering, so he's going to drop his bow and draw his sword and move in to try to get melee with you.
Mhm.
Let's see if what he can do. 18 hits, correct? Yep.
Yep.
Because he's versatile, tool-handing the sword, he does 10 points of slashing damage as he charges towards you,
Mhm.
carving in boom, one heavy strike. Yep. Still above half HP, so that's fun.
Yes.
Doran, he's back to full HP because of his regen. And he sees that you're in a bit of a pickle, so he's going to let the one at his side take an attack of opportunity as he moves behind this one. Attack. Normal, he misses, so he swings his door and rushes by. And you see him. Boom, boom, boom. What will he do here? He's going to shove this man. And kind of, yep, that's what he's going to do. He's going to roll athletics to defend. He rolls a 5. So you see Doran rush past you, and then boom, you hear a thud as this man here behind you is knocked prone from a leg sweep strike. And he says, get him, lass. And then he moves back up, takes another attack of opportunity, which does hit. So he gets 2 damage. And he's going to move to grapple this dude. Where is it? 24 versus his. Just 21. So you see the commander kind of wrestling with Doran as he really just moves to pin him on the ground and stand on top of him. Third one, noticing this chaos, is going to step forward and try to swing at you. And 17 hits. So.
Yes, it does.
So 4 points of damage. So you go below half HP.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to use any of your features or anything like that.
I definitely have something I want to use. Just can't think of what it is.
It's if you look over your features tab, you can see all of your class features listed out. When you go below half HP, you can use Bloody but Unbowed.
Yes.
Yep. And I completely.
I would like to do that.
Yep. So you get level plus Constitution, 8 points of temporary hit points. So 8 there.
Okay.
Boom. And you feel kind of a cold rush of blood. And you didn't really notice how cold you were up till now, as you feel your energy, feel much stronger, feel renewed almost. Yep. And that's a reaction. 3, 2, and you're up. As a reminder, because I completely forgot, you do have a bonus action free attack every time you take the attack action. And you can also spend your Moxie points to do a 1-2 combo, which lets you do 2 other attacks.
Okay. So I could do like 1 attack and then use my Moxie to do another 2, right?
Correct.
Yep. Okay. I think I might do that for this turn.
Alright. Who you hitting?
If it's possible. I am going to go for the one to my left.
Okay. Swing away.
Not at advantage, just a straight attack roll.
Just straight.
Cool.
If you want one on advantage, this one is knocked prone. I forgot to put the symbol. he's not prone, so you can get advantage on him.
Okay. I might go for that one then. If that's fine.
Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable.
Throw these hands. Advantage.
Yep, that hits.
Excellent.
Ooh, that hurts.
Oh.
He's hurting.
And then I'm going to use my Moxie to do another 2 hits.
Correct.
Is there a particular way I have to do that with the character sheet to...
Nope. You just roll them like normal attacks.
Cool. And it's 2 attacks?
Correct.
Still at advantage?
Yep. He's still prone.
Cool.
He's got his turn. Oh, critical hit!
25.
Let's go. Roll that crit damage, baby.
Mm-hmm. That's 9.
That's lethal.
Mm-hmm. And then my second one, which is also at advantage, is a 21.
He's already dead, so if you're talking about...
Oh, he already dead?
Yeah, the crit killed him as you swing down.
My bad.
That's fine. That one would miss against the Hobgoblin because it's a 2 without the advantage.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
How do you take out the guy on the poor Sob on the right as he's like on the ground, like trying to get up?
She would have taken him out by putting one foot on his chest and just stomping his face.
Yeah, curb stomp him. Just boom,
Yep.
boom, one foot on his chest. He kind of yelps and then other foot straight into the stone and the crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Again, doesn't really feel any different from squashing bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Dorian yells out, "You're doing pretty good, lass. Keep at it."
Thank you.
And you get 1 free reaction attack against any opponent. As he gives you
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
He's out here helping you.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. Am I able to use that now against the one that's right next to me?
Yep.
Cool. I'm gonna throw these hands again.
Hey, that hits.
Excellent.
Excellent.
That is 9 points of damage.
Max damage. Boom! You hit him in the chest, almost caving through his armor. He's like, oh! Gasps for air. This guy is going to try to wrestle with Thorin to get free.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom, boom. He is unable to, so he's going to take a swing at you. Attack. So he swings to hit you as he's wrestling with Thorin, kind of just forcing his sword forward beyond the chokehold, and you take 12 points of damage. But a chunk of it's soaked by that temporary HP, so you don't even feel it as the blade comes down. That's his turn, and Doran is out here, finally in a position to finish his foe. He's gonna roll hits, misses. Poor guy, missing all these attacks. So he hits one as he's wrestling with his opponent, and he drags him back out of melee range of you, so you don't get caught in the crossfire. And this boy's gonna take a swing at you. He misses as he's kind of flailing about with the sword, just trying to strike at you, but you kind of just take it on the chin. It doesn't even come close to hurting. And it's your turn again.
Excellent. I'll throw my hands straight back at him.
Yeah. That misses.
Mine is not gonna hit.
You can still spend Moxie to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes, I'm thinking about doing just that. How much Moxie do I have? I have 2.
And if you're ever curious about what you can do with Moxie, you can go over to the feature that says Moxie. It has all of the things you can do listed out.
A quick little look at that. Okay, I'm going to. I'd like to spend a moxie to make a shove attack if I can.
All right, roll me in athletics.
Okie Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Normal. That's a 19.
He fails his athletic check as you shove him, and he is now prone.
Mhm.
Cool. Find set as effects. Prone. And Doran's gonna call out, "Finish him, girl!" And you got another free attack.
Excellent. I'm gonna try and take him out the same way I took out the other person that was prone.
Curb stomp. Curb stomp.
Stomp. Yeah.
I dig the brutality.
Mhm. That's a straight attack, isn't it? No advantage.
No, you have advantage because you knocked him prone.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Still getting used to it. 10 misses.
Yep.
Rude.
That's your turn. So
Yep.
he's going to again try to break free of the grapple. See if he can do it today. Doesn't look like it. He is not having good fun. It's a 12. That's a 28, so he's still being firmly held. So he's gonna try to swing towards Thorin. Hits. 9 damage. As he's flailing about, swinging his sword, you see it kind of like cut Doran like at the lower edge of his waist, just a little bit. You can see just drip of blood. That's his turn, and Doran is going to move to finish off his opponent. That hits. Doesn't kill. That does not hit. So you see he's wrestling with his opponent, swinging, boom, and you see him pull his sword down into one of the man's feet and just pinning him there with it as he kind of wrestles with him to try to beat the shit out of him. And this guy's gonna get up, and he's gonna try to take a swing at you. Let's see how he does. He misses, so he stands up, strikes towards you, and then boom, again, you just kind of dodge out of the way. And you're up again.
Excellent. I'm gonna throw these hands yet again.
Cool.
Is he prone still?
No, he got up on his turn.
Cool.
Yeah, that hits.
21. Excellent.
Yeah, that's enough to kill
7
him.
points of damage. Excellent. Curb stomped him.
Yeah, so you strike him in the face. He starts tumbling back down, and you step on his foot. Another fist to the chest. Boom, kind of like cracking a bone as he hits the ground. And just for extra measure, one stomp on the skull until there's just mush below. And oh wait, didn't mean to do that. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. Again, try to wrestle. Not having good luck on that front. Yeah, he's being held firmly. And let's see. Sword hits. Oh wait, no, he doesn't. That's right. Doran has a thing. So you see him swing towards Doran, and Doran blocks the blow with his blade just in the last second, as he kind of like uses it as a pivot, as it's still stuck in the dude's foot. That's his turn. Let's see if Doran can finish this fight. Yep. And that hits. Is that enough? That is just enough. So you see him swing, boom, pull the sword out of the dude's foot, where there's that now massive gash for him, and just cleave the dude from the waist down in half, and turn him into little bits. He's no longer a threat, and combat
Excellent.
is over. So it's quick, bloody brawl that takes about in like normal time. I think it's 40 seconds, and most pass like just a couple of heartbeats. Just boom, boom, brutal beat down of these assailants of yours.
Mhm.
Make sure he's got that. Get the other truck playing again. And Doran kind of looks at it, pants a bit. He's like, "Well, you held your own there, lass. Sorry about that bit of trouble following me." And you see him kind of looking very wistfully at the bodies. He doesn't seem very miffed by having to kill them, but he doesn't seem very pleased
Mhm.
about it either.
Interesting. Did you know them?
Once, when they were men, I suppose, they are that no longer. So once this is over, I can grieve.
Mhm.
Thea, right?
Yes, I think.
Would you care to accompany me out of this hellhole? It's gonna be a bit of a trek, and it might be dangerous, but we need all. I think we both need friends where we can get them.
Sure.
Yeah. He extends a hand out. He's like, "Come on," to shake your hand,
Yep.
and
Yep.
boop boop.
She'll shake his hand.
Cool. Pleasure to meet you. Just wish it could have been under better circumstances.
I agree.
And he guides you out from this cavernous nightmare. And I'll move us back over to the main
Mhm.
map.
Cool.
So over the next couple of weeks, really, you end up traveling with Doran, and you end up over in Ashmore for a while. That's the path you take. You kind of cut through these hills here, end up north, and over the course of those couple of
Sorry.
weeks of travel, uh,
Mhm.
you start piecing together more and more bits of who you might have been. You
Mhm.
end up kind of looking over your stuff, and the few things that you had on you were a signet ring of a family that you presume should be the Goldpetals. You're not quite certain, but it feels like you're right in that assumption. It's a certainty that you have, but you don't know why you have it. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Intuition of a kind. And really quickly, Doran helps you get some basic equipment, some looting as you make your way out of Silverkeep in the night. And he goes about explaining what happened, at least from his perspective, in the last evening. There was a traitor amongst the knights, and he had betrayed him and his people, and the city was lit aflame. And you can roll me a history check, Thea, if you would.
Excellent. I can do that. History.
Okay, with an 8, you don't quite remember uh, most of what Silverkeep or Galore as a whole was like. You have you have this notion of this is home in a way, but it's a very faint like this is home, but that doesn't mean you really care about what home is. But Doran seems to
Yep.
really care, and he's grateful that you're okay, and he seems very pleased to be helping. He does seem like he has some sort of plan. And when you arrive in Ashmore, he introduces you to a pair of dwarves uh, named. Check their names real quick. Flitel and Ashen. I will, or Ishin. I'll spell it out.
Mhm.
Flitel, Ishin, uh, who seem to be good friends of his, and they're surprised when you arrive, and they take you in. As you kind of like get through the big, large gates of this almost fortress into these early mountain cliffs that seem to stretch beyond them with interconnecting paths, you notice an outstanding kind of force of those same men and women, those knights dressed in blue and silver, with the
Mhm.
iconography of the castle. As the city is quickly, not necessarily sieged, but you can feel the tensions are rising, and they want something from the city and its denizens. And over a couple of days, Doran explains the crux of the biggest issue they are facing, which is he is still unaware of the exacts of everything that happened and how to undo it or where to best strike. But a friend of his, he made contact that helped him escape from the depths of Silverkeep where he found you. Um, Her name is Thia Blackclaw, which he notes is a funny joke. Um, that you have the same name, almost like Providence. He says
Mhm.
a blessing, and he tells you that he himself has business here in Ashmore, but after your quick little jaunt in the bottom of Silverkeep and the short time he has spent with you, he feels enough of a trust that you are not working for the enemy, that he gives you this very important task alongside some equipment to do it, which is he needs you to go contact Thea with a letter of some very vital information. And as a secondary mission given to you by Flatel and Aishin, there's an ancient dwarven legend about the hearts of ancient forges within Ashmore, deep in the depths, where great grand weapons that changed the world were once created, forged, and eventually lost to time. Uh, and the two brothers had recently uncovered one of these old forges, and in there they found a lead to what they believed to be a weapon that could help the war effort, or at least the counter-war effort, to help undo whatever nightmare has befallen the kingdom. And it is called the Ashblade. And they tell you, they tell you that they believe it to be in a ruin of some kind in Willesden, where Thea Blackclaw is currently uh, got her headquarters set up as they're expanding their operation and trying to get a grasp on the situation in the other cities, as well as communications have fallen through, and Dorn is certain this is a tactical movement. Amongst that, he says that someone there might know the gold petals, might know more about your past, that Wilson has great informants and people who generally know quite a lot. And as a thank you for undertaking this mission, the twin dwarves equip you with an item that they spend a couple of days, those same days where you're kind of planning all this out, getting your equipment ready to take with you. And they're these heavy black iron gauntlets and like greaves, and they're called the black irons. And what they do,
Mhm.
mechanically speaking, they give you a +1 to your attack rolls and damage rolls, and you can do unarmed, or when you do an unarmed strike, you can choose to do piercing damage as you release the claws of steel that are placed in these heavy gauntlets. They're also still kind of very moldable, as you notice. They're not a tight fit. They're very loose, and they fit very snugly to your fingers. So you get that magical item. I'll hand it to you in just a little bit.
Excellent. Mhm.
Excellent. And you end up on a quick little jaunt southwards from Ashmore down to Willesden. And along the path here, you notice arrays of knights and other creatures. And you kind of get a lot of time to yourself as you make this journey here alone. Uh, Real quick, roll me a survival check and describe to me how you think Thea makes that journey.
Okay.
10 is pretty good, solid enough.
Mhm. Um, on her way, like while she's journeying, she'd be a little bit distracted with like everything that's like slowly come back or what she has got to remember, and she'd probably look at her signet ring a couple times every day just to see if it brings anything back.
Digging through
Um,
her memories, the nightmare all that she remembers being that nightmare and her name. And
mhm,
I imagine it's a very kind of wistful kind of glance where she's like you just zone out for a couple of
mhm,
hours at a time whenever you're
yep,
taking rest. Um, and I think it's on this journey that you realize something is up with you as a person.
mhm,
Like you as a person know that people need to sleep, people need to eat, people need to drink. Throughout your
mhm,
travels, you have never really felt that urge. You could do it, but you don't really feel a need. Your stomach doesn't grumble. You don't feel thirsty. You don't even
yep,
really feel tired. You just lay down for what feels like a couple of moments and zone out, and you feel refreshed. And I imagine that's not a very pleasant thing to come to a
no,
realization. Yeah, you definitely know
strange.
something's up. Something's
Mhm,
very strange. And with that, I think you make it to Wilston very safely. At the very least, a couple of days before the party really arrives. So I'll
Yeah.
bring you over to that map real quick, and I'll put on the Wilsden music,
Mhm.
and that would be this soundtrack. So when you arrive, you kind of get an early glance of part of the siege that took place here, or that is taking place. It's a lot of urban warfare. The knights are holed up in the city's outer districts, kind of reinforced and making their own pathways. As far as you're aware, getting in would either be through the gates or you'd have to find another way in. How do you think the approaches this problem?
Hmm. I think she's going to try and sneak her way in and look for like an alleyway kind of entrance, or like an entrance that looks like it's being used by people who know that they shouldn't be using it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, roll me a stealth check
Okay.
first, and then
Yep.
we'll see how safely you get about this.
That was a stealth check.
Stealth check.
Yep. Okay.
No. So the first couple of hours you're here, you are what you think is hidden like through alleyways, but you start
Mhm.
noticing one of the patrols has caught on to you, and they're not necessarily openly rushing at you because they seem to be fearful of something on the walls of the inner city, um, and so you have a little bit of an opportunity. You know you've been made. What does she do?
Hmm. Is she able to just cut it and bolt in a different direction?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Mhm.
cool.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, roll me
Take off around the corner.
roll me an athletics check, please.
Excellent. I'd much rather roll athletics than I would stealth.
Oh, you
No!
do have a d6 you could add to your proficiency modifier.
I think I might do that. Make it a 10.
Yeah. Uh,
Actually, no, I've got to roll it. I've got to roll it
yeah.
first, sorry.
Gotta hope. Roll it and hope.
D6. Um, how do I do that?
Slash R and then space d6. No roll. D6.
Okay. So it's slash 1d6.
Correct. Hey, that's a lot
Close.
better. 14. Super good. So with the 14, you managed to start getting a lead on them. They're pretty agile, these knights keeping up. But you make it to one of the outer walls where you can hear some people up on the walls yelling, and you see a figure with a rope kind of just rappel off the wall down. Her name is Prosley. She is dressed in heavy armor, and it is a thick rope, and she's kind of just rappelling down with a crossbow in hand, which has some sort of weird bolt attached to it. You see the knights don't necessarily shy away; they just kind of take cover as you manage to get to rush past and rush forward. And Prosley kind of eyes you over and says, "And you are?" As she points her crossbow at you. I
Not
presume.
here to hurt you.
I presume you're one of the refugees that didn't make it inside. Then
More or less.
we still got a few stranglers. And she kind of eyes you over. She says,
Mhm.
"One couldn't hurt, I suppose." And she motions for you to grab the rope.
Okay, I'll grab the rope.
Yep, hold up. Boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
You can hear the people atop it kind of pulling on it, and you see one of the knights kind of poke out with their own crossbow, and Prosy pulls the trigger, and a puff of white smoke appears out over one of the homes, and you can hear a bit of coughing and movement as they move, and you get pulled up, and you see a couple of the local defense guards. You can roll me a history check. They're dressed in black and reds. They kind of just eye Prosy, very seemingly upset with her, but less so when they kind of look at you. And there's a obvious distinction, right? Like you're wearing traveler's clothes. Yeah, no idea who they are. You're wearing traveler's clothes. You seem to have been from the roads, or at the very least, not from, uh, not allied with those knights. They don't seem very
Yep.
trusting of you, um, but at the very least, they're not upset with you as much as they might appear to be. So they kind of bring you inside to one of the local guardhouses, and they sit you down with Prosy, who kind of does a mini interrogation of sorts. It's not really that,
Okay.
not really that straightforward of a thing. This is really loud for some reason. Yeah, okay, that's much better. Mini interrogation of some sorts, where she gets your name and what you do remember about yourself. What do you tell her as you're kind of just in general when she asks you questions like, "Who are you? Where are you from? Why are you here? Do you need food, water, shelter, that sort of stuff?" It seems they've been dealing with a lot of refugees and those sorts of questions.
Um, she'll hesitate before she speaks, and then she'll explain. I don't need anything other than to get into the city. I think my name is Thia Goldpetal.
Thing?
And yes, and I have a task to carry out. I need to deliver a letter.
A letter? Yeah.
Mhm.
He kind of eyes you up and he's like, "Are you sure you're all right, ma'am? You, most people don't forget their names, or at least most of them are certain."
I think I'm okay. It's been a wild couple weeks.
Ah, right. You are absolutely certain, sir. Be it.
Mhm.
Come here, and she kind of like writes your name, has you sign a paper, and says,
Yep.
"City's a bit busy, crowded, with all the refugees lately. Uh, good luck." And she
Mhm.
pats you on the
Thank
back and
you.
lets you down into the city. And stepping
Excellent.
off the wall from the northern districts, you'd end over probably, especially early this morning, uh, Hereish, which is part
Okay.
of the Stillgate section, which is this very relaxed community that is, you could tell, suffering an influx of
Mhm.
people. The streets are very crowded. There's all sorts of arguments over meaningless stuff going on.
Mhm.
And you find yourself in the city proper. Uh, how do you go about trying to find or do any of the things that were asked of you? Is the first question.
Hmm. Um. Would the I think I'd look for. I don't know if the guards are going to talk to me, but I'd want to talk to them and ask if they know um Thea, but obviously not me. And if
Do you
I
know a
can
Thea?
speak to her.
Yeah, roll me. I think this is an investigation check, is what this would be.
Yep, I think so. Investigation. Oh no. Please be nice.
Oh,
19?
nice.
18? 18.
Natural 19 minus 1 and 18. So with that,
Yep.
you kind of start asking. It only takes like the third or fourth person that you ask. Uh,
Yep.
and it's surprising how quickly they answer, and they're like, shouldn't speak her name out here. It's not very safe for people who
Okay.
like associating with her. Um, and it is this little gnome that is dressed in a nice suit and a hat.
Mhm.
Again, dressed in that kind of same guard outfits. But if you need to look for her, you go over to the Rising Dawn. You ask the clerk, and you give him this, and he hands you a little paper, and you tell him that you go in for the Black Claw, and they won't let you in. They'll let you screen to maybe get in.
Mhm.
Depends. Good luck, kid. And thumbs up. Sends you over uh,
Thanks.
that away.
Mhm.
Cool. And you manage to find yourself um, in the guild ramparts, which to describe to you are these massive raised platforms that stack atop each other, with buildings in between acting more like support structures. It's kind of like a tower towering city built upon it. And the reason it's like that is because Wilsden is it's built in this kind of landfill almost. What's the word? There's a crevice here. There's a lot of
Yep.
ways down. There's a lot of verticality in it. The city's kind of in a sinkhole almost, as it's built up around it. And going through the guild ramparts, at the very bottom, one of the guilds is called the Rising Dawn. It's this very brilliant, kind of outward showing of this gold sign in the shape of a sun, and like a whole bunch of people coming in and out, in kind of a hustle and bustle. Stepping inside, there's a couple of clerks there, whom, when you contact and ask and just kind of tell them, what do you present them? What do you tell them?
I would present them with the piece of paper that the you said it was a gnome.
Yeah.
Handed me
Cool.
and said, I've got business with someone I'm not supposed to speak the name of.
The
And then
clerk, who in this instance is, check my list, a human man dressed with old, kind of foggy old glasses, looks you up and down. He's like, "Well, what's your business, little miss? Then
I've just got to give her a letter
from who?
from Doran.
Daughter and who?
I don't remember his name. No.
His name is Dorn Ashglade. Ashglade.
That's it.
I like that.
Ashglade.
I like that as a character. Like,
It makes sense. I'll run with that in character.
processing. Yeah. He kind of like eyes raised, and when you present the letter that Dorn gave you, you see that it has a seal and kind of a signature on it. He's like, "Well, shit." One moment, just come around back, and he motions towards the main exit, one of the side doors in the guild hall, which leads to the back alley besides it, where he kind of moves a nice little heavy dumpster slightly, and boom, drops down a ladder, bringing you to this. Let me just make sure it's all in order.
Mhm.
And that's all set. Okay, let me load it up real quick, bringing you through this little. That is in the wrong corner. You should not be in. 1 second. Drag your token down here so you see he brings you through a metal door where he knocks 4 times and then he whistles a little bit, and it's opened by a armored man with a sword at his side. And there you go. This is the man opening the door for you. The little gnome kind of motions to the human motions to the guards, whose name is Hans, and he says, "Well, got a direct letter from Ashglade himself. First contact in a while." I let the big lady know. And Hans nods, and he looks to you and is like, "And what's your name?" As the human walks away.
My name is Thea as well.
That's kind of awkward. And he
Yep.
motions
I
over.
know.
You see him unlock this door. Boom. Head inside. She'll be in her meeting room. First room on the left.
Mhm.
Well, second room on the left, my bad. You can move your token.
Cool. I can't see anything at the moment.
Oh, you can't? 1 second.
I had it.
1 second. How about now?
No. It's just all grey.
Zoom out a bit. You might be looking at the right spot.
I can't change my zoom. Oh no, not that I can't change it. I just trying to do it without a mouse.
Yeah. You can do it with the page up and page down keys.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you see now?
Not yet.
Yeah. 1 second. so strange. You should be able to see.
Hmm.
How about now?
Nope.
Hmm.
Um.
That is so strange. 1 second.
Yes, I had the whole like room map before, then I looked back up and it was gone.
And how about now? Can you see?
I still can't see anything. It says the base at the top,
Not
the little
no
target
over
symbol.
down to where I am going to. I think it's this key. Move you. You see in here?
Um, I have no idea. Um.
So do me a quick solid. Press the escape key, and then click the
Yep.
reload application button.
Cool.
It might take a little moment.
Uh huh.
You should be able to see after. So strange. Once you load back in, just tell me.
I've loaded back in. It just says it's resyncing at the moment. There we go.
Yeah, now you can see. So
Mhm.
you should be able to move your token as normal.
Yep.
Cool. You can also use WASDA. So Hans again
Yep.
opens this door to redescribe it to let you through. Second room on the left. Knock beforehand. She's usually busy if she's around. There you go. Yeah. You can hear him
Excellent.
close the door behind you.
Yep. Second to the left.
Yep. Second room to the left. Again, you can use
Okay.
WASDA to move, just in case. Yeah, it's much
Yep.
faster that way.
Definitely. Okay. Believe that would be.
No.
I think I'm going the right way.
Yeah, it would be this room. Second room to the
That
left.
room.
Mm-hmm. Second room on your left. So you knock, boom, boom. There's a
Mhm.
1 moment, and let me make sure her thing is pulled up. 1 second. There she is. Stage. Bum 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 bum. She opens the door. It's like, and who are you? I presume you're important enough for the guards to let you in. Come in. Take
Come
a
in.
seat. If I may
Sit
have
down.
your name and your business.
Goldpetal. Thea. I promise you, I'm not taking the piss.
I'll believe it for now. So, what brings you here past every single bit of security? Very few people get this far without a good reason.
I was instructed by Doran Ashglade
Oh,
to deliver this to you personally.
she takes the envelope. Sits down.
Yep.
Well, this is the second bit of great news I've had recently.
Mhm.
Eh, She kind of opens the letter, starts skimming it. You, I presume that you're helping us with the whole Madden Empire, King and Evil Knight deal, or perhaps this is just a selfish venture.
Mhm.
It's personal then. All right. Well, if you wouldn't mind working for me for a little bit in Doran's place, I know he can be a very persuasive man when he wants to be. But
Mhm.
around here, business is a little bit difficult. And you see her skimming this paper. It's like, I'll be. This is some fantastic news. I can start working on this lead quite shortly. The letter says you might need some help to find something for Doran, right? This ash blade.
Yes.
Fantastic. Uh, well, you should be able to find help amongst the crew here, and well, we have some old. I have some old friends of mine that are out on business right now, but I could contact them, let them know to help you in the morning if you so wish. Good. That'd be good. The faster you get on that case, the better. And she kind of
I'll
like,
be sure to do that.
do you need anything to drink, eat, a place to rest?
Um, maybe just a place to settle for now. I'm good for everything else though.
All right. Well, and she kind of steps out for you to follow her.
Mhm.
In the our small little enclosure here, we don't have any particularly comfortable spots, but you see her kind of fiddling with her pouch to get a key. She opens it up this door down here, steps inside, grabs what seems to be a piece of paper. That you could just barely see as she's stepping out with it. Scribbles on it real quick and hands
Yep.
it to you. Uh, just
Mhm.
send this in at the local, I believe. It's the second story. It's called the Hanging Gardens. It's a nice little inn tavern. Uh, find that place to rest for a couple nights. Avoid any
Yep.
trouble, and I'll see about helping you with that blade. I'll send something what I can manage. But you may be on your own
I
for a
appreciate
little
it.
bit. The
That's
pleasure's
fine.
all mine. The news is a fantastic boon. Thank you for bringing it to me.
I'm
Rest
glad to
easy.
be the bearer of good news.
It's the first good news in a while, I'll be honest.
Mhm.
Take your leave. The
Okay.
exits. You could go through the sewers or the catacombs into the sewers, or our more reasonable entry and exit. She brings you down kind of over here. Bring it over here-ish. Left shifted, I think. Left shift, yeah. There you go. Over here-ish. She opens this door, and inside, just drag you real quick. Yoink. Teleport through walls.
Mhm.
In here is a common room, but out past this door is the exit.
Okay.
Stairway. Secondary room, hidden passage. It's not that difficult. Uh, stay safe. And she kind of leads you out. That's pretty much how you got here to Wilson. Not nothing too
Okay.
out of the ordinary, nothing too extreme. I'll just move you back onto the main map in a moment.
Yep.
Just a second. Activate that. So you should be good once it moves you over. And over the course of the couple days, you get a bit of help from two idiots is a strong word, but less than ideal companions named Donnie and Mikey, who are they're trying, but they're not the best at their job.
Yeah.
And one of the big leads that you find is you think there's somebody else looking for it, and you kind of come to this conclusion is when you're looking up leads, mostly into the catacombs and people who might
Yep.
know a way around it. That a lot of these
Mhm.
questions have been recently asked, and that they're best to explore a man by the name of check the list. A man by the name of Wheel, kind of a scummy fellow, was an expert grave robber back when the catacombs had been mostly untouched when a new region was discovered, and that he's an expert in the field. But some some halfling lady had come and recruited him to do that mission instead,
Mhm.
or to help her find something. And so you now know of a wheel and some halfling who seems intent on finding this something down there, and you get a feeling that it's probably related. Um, if the recent days have taught you anything, is these gut feelings um, are pretty precise in in that, whereas like things just kind of
Mhm.
come together for better or worse. And I think that's a good point to leave you on for when
Mhm.
you join the main group on Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you for playing.
Yes.
I hope you have
Not a
fun.
problem. Mhm.
It's a bit short, but short and sweet. Get you introduced to some of the characters, some of the world lore, give you a
Mhm.
couple of things to do, a couple of your own personal backgrounds, instead of just giving you them out in a list, letting you role play them a little bit,
Mhm.
experience it.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much for playing. And next week, that's when
All
the
good.
real fun starts.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
this weekend.